And now the Saturday play. In 1907, a bet was made in a gentleman's club in Piccadilly between an American millionaire and a young Englishman. Over 20 years later, there was still an air of mystery surrounding the exact details of the truce.
Good to see you.
Hello, Harry.
What are you doing here?
Now, that's no way to treat a guest, Harry.
Who?
It's Mr. Tipton, Harry. Your old friend. Your friend, Harry. Do you remember? Harry?
Harry!
Good morning, gentlemen.
Afternoon, Bensley. We've been waiting since 11 o'clock.
If I'm to waste years of my life on your account, Morgan, I think my wasting a couple of hours of yours only fair.
Well, now you're here, I suppose we can begin. Lord Lonsdale, as you know, will be acting as witness.
Harry.
And this is Mr. Stimpson, my lawyer. Together we've drawn up the contract.
Ah, Morgan. Ever the businessman.
Oh, this isn't business, Bensley. This is sport.
I'm afraid I have rather a habit of confusing the two.
It's quite simple. With business, you make money, and in sport, you lose it.
How curious. For me, it's always been quite the reverse.
Please proceed, Stimpson.
The bet was made here, in the Piccadilly Sporting Club, 1 week ago on the evening of 21st of August, 1907. When Mr. Morgan suggested to the assembled company that no man could travel the world without betraying his identity.
Nonsense.
The bet was made as a consequence of Mr. Bensley challenging the assertion and the terms. Mr. Bensley must pass through 294 towns and cities in 21 different countries. Mm-hmm. He will travel on foot, with the exception of 4 ocean crossings, finally returning to London where, his identity intact and the supplementary conditions met, the challenge will be judged to have been completed.
And the supplementary conditions?
For the duration, Mr. Bensley is to wear an iron mask. This cannot be removed under any circumstances. He is also required to push a child's perambulator.
A what?
He must set out with no funds whatsoever upon his person, and what money he makes earned solely by the sale of postcards. Before his return to London, he must also have received and accepted a proposal of marriage.
But surely you're joking.
The rules have been devised, Your Lordship, specifically with regard to Mr. Bensley. The mask is intended both to prevent his being recognized and to prevent him from exploiting his well-known way with the ladies. He'll push a pram and find a bride because to an inveterate bachelor such as Mr. Bensley, nothing could be more abhorrent.
Oh, that is perfectly true.
He shall be stripped of wealth, position, respect.
No, I have precious little of that in any case.
In short, deprived of everything which protects and sustains him, sent into the world as helpless as an infant.
I simply can't help thinking it's not sporting.
I think, Your Lordship, that for $100,000 I should be allowed some freedom in naming my terms.
How much?
If Mr. Bensley is successful, he shall receive the sum of $100,000.
Harry?
Is father in?
He's at the club, as I'm sure you know, or else you wouldn't be here. Eunice?
I've come to say goodbye.
Ma'am? Would you take these flowers and tell Cook that Mr. Bensley will be staying for lunch?
Very good, ma'am.
I'm leaving, Mother.
Nonsense. You've only just arrived.
Father has told you about my journey, hasn't he?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I think it's wonderful.
You do?
Travel can be so improving. Will you visit Venice?
I'm travelling the world.
The world? Oh, how glorious. I should so like to go myself, but your father...
My journey, it's a bet.
Oh, not your gambling again.
I'm going to walk around the world pushing a child's perambulator.
Whose is the child?
There is no child.
Very confusing.
I shall also be wearing an iron mask.
Oh, Harry, when are you going to grow up and see things as they are? You are an adult, after all.
So I'm told.
You have responsibilities, a position to uphold.
Mother.
You have to remember who you are, Harry. Do you ever think about the future?
Not if I can help it.
Your father always had such hopes for you. Why, he was speaking to the General only last week, and I am sure he could get you...
Mother, I am leaving. But when I return, I shan't be a soldier or a husband or, heaven forfend, a father. God willing, I shan't be doing anything in the least bit sensible. By the way, you know that suit of armour in the library? Yeah. I think it's rather magnificent.
Can you see anything?
Yes, enough. How people fought in these things is anyone's guess.
It's not really a mask, is it?
No, it's a helmet. Belonged to an ancestor of mine, from what I gather.
I suppose you've made the rest of the preparations?
Here are the postcards I had printed. It's not a bad likeness, I think you'll agree.
And the pram was delivered?
They wouldn't let me bring it into the club, so I parked it up outside.
Already quite a crowd out there, isn't there? It's all the talk in the newspapers.
My newspapers, in case you hadn't noticed.
Well, I think it's all rather wonderful. Like that Jules Verne thing. Though you'll be pushed to do it in 80 days.
Well, that reminds me. I almost forgot your passe-partout.
My what?
I've appointed an observer.
Is that quite necessary?
Much as I'd like to take Mr. Bensley's word for it, I need to ensure he's actually doing what he says he is.
I do try to avoid that, if at all possible.
But who would go with him?
Actually, I found the very man. Tipton?
Sir?
May I present to you Mr. Charles Tipton?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Of course, you can't reveal to Tipton who you are.
We are to travel the world together, and he cannot know my name.
Well, it's in your interest, really. Tipton will merely observe. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And send reports on your progress.
Indeed, sir.
Yes, sir. Indeed, sir. Is Mr. Tipton able to offer an opinion of his own?
Answer the man, Tipton.
I'm sure I'd be able to offer an opinion, sir, should it be required.
I am grateful to you, Morgan, for providing me with such a stimulating companion.
Mr. Tipton was appointed for his personal integrity. He is, as you'll learn, quite incorruptible.
Is he indeed?
If we're quite finished, gentlemen, I think it's time we went outside. The public awaits.
My dearest Evie, we set off today at 2:30 in the afternoon from Piccadilly Circus. There was quite a crowd, and had the police officers not been present, we should hardly have found a way through. As we passed, there was much throwing of hats and shouting and cheering. Mostly, I think it was Mr. Morgan's name. But then, I suppose they had no other to shout. Sir did present a most unusual spectacle, with his newly polished helmet shining in the afternoon sun. Had I been him, I might have tried to attract as little attention as possible, but Sir seemed to positively revel in the occasion, waving and shaking hands with the people at the roadside, and pushing his pram as proudly as if it had been the royal carriage itself. I myself followed behind at some distance. The crowd had no idea who I was, or quite what I was doing there, but to be honest, I was quite glad of that. We're now moving north, towards St Albans, and Sir is already tiring. In truth, I don't expect him to last more than a few days. He seems unused to exercise, and Mr. Morgan assures me he's never persisted in any endeavour for very long. Hopefully, I'll be back with you within the week, and when I return, Mr. Morgan has promised I'll be well reimbursed for my services. Perhaps then...
Was that your writing, Tipton?
A letter, sir.
To Mr. Morgan?
No, sir.
A woman, if I'm not mistaken.
Our fiancée.
Indeed? I suppose you're to be congratulated. When's a happy day, huh?
Whenever it is that I return, sir.
When you return? But that might be years.
It might.
How did your fiancée feel about your joining me?
She was very understanding, sir.
And there, Tipton, you have the difference between a fiancée and a wife.
Shall we make a move, sir?
How far would you say we've come today? Huh?
About 10 miles.
Yeah, and how many do you suppose we have to go?
As many, sir, as it takes you to stop.
Yeah, I see. You don't think I'll succeed?
Your task isn't easy, sir. Something or someone might cause you to stop.
Not you, I hope.
My charge is simply to uphold the rules.
Oh, come, you must be looking forward to the journey.
Not especially.
Then why are you here?
Mr. Morgan requested it.
And what if Mr. Morgan should request you to jump off a cliff?
It should depend on the size of the cliff and the extent of my remuneration. We all have to earn a living.
Not all of us, thank God.
I have little to report. I don't believe my charge has ever been outside London before, for his grasp of geography is rather less than that of most schoolboys. Apparently he doesn't believe in maps, preferring to set his faith in his fellow man and ask directions from passers-by. He has no planned route whatsoever, with the result that we move north one day and south the next. However, we've been walking now for 2 weeks, and Sir remains in good spirits. He acts rather as if he were on holiday than any kind of serious undertaking. No doubt it's been of some help that he's met with such generosity. He's sold a good many postcards, and every night receives offers of lodgings and food. Sir seems to greatly enjoy this attention. In particular, he spends considerable time conversing with the young ladies whom we meet on the road. On several occasions, becoming rather...
Dashing out now.
It's like a proper knight in shining armour.
And which of you ladies would be the damsel in distress?
Will you be going to America, sir?
I will. North and south.
And pushing your pram and all?
Our pram will travel.
I don't like to mention it, sir, but there seems to be a gentleman following you.
Is there? Oh, yes. Tipton?
Sir?
These young ladies have kindly offered to put us up for the night.
Was your friend coming too?
You know, I think he'd be quite handsome if he didn't look so serious.
I had thought, sir, that we were pressing on to Rochester.
From what I hear, Rochester is a perfectly dismal place.
Oh, it has a cathedral.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't think people would quite believe that we met you.
In that case, you must have one of these.
Why, it's a postcard. With your picture on it, look.
May we keep it?
Of course. I'm afraid I shall require 4pence of you.
4pence?
It is in a good cause.
Maid, have you got any...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, can I help you, officer?
Are you selling those postcards?
Would you care to buy one? As you can see, I have several different types. There's me with pram, me without pram, pram without me.
May I see your licence, sir?
My licence?
Order in the court. Let the accused stand forward. What in heaven's name is that?
I believe it's a helmet, Your Honour.
I think I can see that, officer. Please, would you have it removed?
I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Not possible. Who is this fellow?
We were unable to ascertain the identity of the accused.
If I could explain, Your Honour.
I think you better had.
I am currently engaged on a wager to travel the world without exposing my identity. I've given my word that I shall try to fulfill this undertaking, and should I reveal who I am, I would violate that agreement.
You accept that you are guilty of the charge of street trading without a licence?
I do.
Then surely, sir, you cannot compare a gentleman's agreement with the demands of the law.
Certainly not. It's far more important than that.
If you are not careful, sir, I shall hold you in contempt.
It was never anyone's intention, Your Honour, that I should commit a criminal act. However, when drawing up the wager, it seems a grave oversight was made in failing to consult the highway laws of the District of Bromley.
Get a go left, officer.
Your Honour, my undertaking is a folly, granted, but one of true ambition. I hope I do not flatter myself when I say it has also caught the imagination of the public at large. And with so many gentlemen of the press here today and the eyes of the nation upon you, I feel sure you would not wish to be thought a spoil sport.
Sir, I find both your words and manner highly impertinent. However, To detain you further would only give your cause more publicity, which is, I believe, all an attention-seeker such as yourself really desires. I shall therefore discharge you with a fine of 2 shillings and 6pence. Officer, remove him from the dock.
Hold very still, please. And... lovely. And could I have one with a pram, please?
Oh, you think there's a story in this, do you?
Human interest, sir. Nothing like it.
I would smile, but I suppose there's not much point.
If you could just move out of the way, please, sir.
You hurt the man, Tipton. No one wants to see you.
I'm perfectly content with that, sir.
Hold still, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And... that's lovely.
Very good.
Much obliged to you, sir.
I don't crave celebrity, nor do I try to make a mockery of the law.
Oh, that sounds distinctly like disapproval. I had no idea observers were allowed opinions.
On the contrary, sir, it's all we are allowed.
Surely you don't begrudge me my moment of fame.
There's fame, sir, and then there's notoriety.
Well, whatever it is, you can't say I haven't earned it.
Yes, sir. You're one of the greatest pram pushers the world has ever known. As for the helmet, well...
It's a truly wonderful device. You know, I'm sorry I never thought of it sooner. To be free of all obligations, of position, family, and now it would seem the law.
There's a difference, sir, between being free and simply irresponsible.
Is there? Well, I'll be damned if I can find it.
Just so long as you understand, sir, that your actions have an effect on others.
Do they indeed?
Yeah, there are some who must follow you whether they will or no.
You are free to go whenever you wish, Tipton. Isn't there some woman waiting for you?
I gave my word to Mr. Morgan, sir.
And so did I. This is my journey, and I shall conduct myself howsoever I wish. If that's not to your liking, then you may return to London forthwith, and I shall make your apologies to Morgan myself. Now, shall I get the pram?
April 2nd, 1908. Carlisle. Dear Mr. Morgan, we've been travelling now for about 8 months. Having pushed into Scotland as far as Edinburgh, we're now heading south, along the west coast. The hardships of the Scottish climate, and the fact that his helmet has quite rusted up, seem not to have affected Sir in the slightest. I regret to say that as his celebrity has grown, so has his manner grown increasingly overbearing. Relations between us have deteriorated, to the point that I felt it necessary for the past 100 miles to cease speaking to him entirely. He continues his erratic course, but our progress has gathered considerably in speed. This is not, I understand, due to any strategy, but rather on account of his desire to reach Newmarket for the races. Although I cannot credit it, we've heard word that the King himself is to be present and has expressed an interest in meeting him.
It's an honour to meet you, Your Majesty.
Oh, the honour is all mine, sir. Tell me, are you a racing man?
I never miss a major meeting if I can help it. But for myself, I prefer a more leisurely pace.
I apologise for dragging you up here like this. But you see, I've heard so much about you. The papers seem full of little else.
Apart, that is, from politics.
Yes, little else of interest, I mean. You've become something of a celebrity.
I believe so.
I even heard a rumour to the effect that you were my cousin, the Earl of Westmoreland. You're not, are you?
Alas, no, Your Majesty.
People do have the most romantic notions about masks and royalty. I suppose that Dumas fellow is to blame.
True, but then I've also heard it said that I was a fishmonger from Aberdeen.
I sometimes wonder myself what it would be like not to be famous.
Well, mine is certainly the very happiest kind of celebrity. And to be recognised by everyone and yet truly known by no one at all.
And there, sir, you have an insight into the experience of royalty. I think I should like to purchase one of your postcards.
It would be an honour if you'd accept it as a gift.
Oh, thank you. I would ask you to sign it, but I suppose that won't be possible.
I'm afraid not.
I'm told they're offering odds on you, sir. Would you say you're worth a flutter?
If I were you, Your Majesty, I'd bet my house on it. In fact, I'd bet all of them.
Tell me, where are you headed next?
I thought we might head west to Cardiff, and then America.
July 14th, 1908. New York. My dearest Evie, the crossing has been wonderful and a blessed relief from the incessant walking. The voyage has also relieved tensions between Sir and myself, at least to the extent that we're now on speaking terms. How I wish you were here with me. I miss you terribly and can't wait to come home. I know the journey's already taken far longer than we expected, but Mr. Morgan assures me that America will be hard going, and with any luck I'll be home for Christmas. So here I am. Our ship arrived this morning, passing the famous Statue of Liberty, which Sir has apparently adopted as his personal emblem. The people here seem quite as enamoured of Sir as everyone back home. Apparently, they like nothing so much as English eccentrics, and Sir has spent much of the day being interviewed for the local newspapers.
The question, sir, which our readers will want to know is why. Is it the money? The fame?
Why must there always be a purpose?
Well, generally when a man does something, he has a reason for doing it.
I have heard you Americans are all about purpose, practicality. Well, I don't have a practical bone in my body. I'm doing this because I wanted to.
So your reasons are entirely selfish?
I aim to delight myself, but my audience is the world at large. The modern age needs gestures such as mine. Nowadays, everything has to be neatly boxed and packaged, with its meaning clearly attached. And what we need are great gestures, monumental in their sheer pointlessness. Undertakings which serve no practical need, but which confound and confuse and express that elemental maxim, I want.
That's all very well, but...
No, I'm tired. I am tired of little people with their little thoughts waving their hands and telling us all what can and can't be done. We need people who are prepared to hurl their bodies through space, recklessly, fearlessly. People who have the belief to go anywhere and do anything.
You consider yourself, I take it, something of an adventurer.
Certainly, but an adventurer of quite another breed to the usual. He is a man of true genius who travels nowhere that hasn't been travelled before, and yet everywhere he goes, discovers it anew. For I explore the world of possibilities, of what could and might be, and there is new territory all around us.
I suppose, sir, you would have all good Americans take up our prams in the cause.
America must do as America sees fit. But I consider myself a walking provocation to those who would dither in the face of... Do you mind, Tipton?
I have a telegram for you, sir.
Now, here is the very type of man I'm talking about. No imagination, no spirit, no sense of what it is that matters.
It's rather urgent, sir.
With him, it's all about rules. When to say please, when to say thank you.
It's from your mother.
What?
Your father.
What about him? Well, out with it.
He's dead.
August the 5th, 1908, New York. Dear Mother, I am so sorry. I am so very sorry. I know I was never a model son to him, and Lord knows he wasn't much of a father, but all things considered, I know I shall miss the old boy. Oh. I had thought of abandoning my journey and returning home to London. And that would, I know, be the done thing, but not on reflection what Father would have wanted. He always said he'd have been proud of me if only I'd been able to dedicate myself to something and see it through to its conclusion. I have therefore decided to press on, in the hope that now, perhaps, for the only time in my life, I can do something he would have respected.
Your son, Harry.
Shall I try, sir?
It's all right.
It's this heat. The pram wasn't made for it.
Oh, no. What was it? Blasted helmet. I'm being cooked alive in here. Oh, this damn pump. Do we have any water left?
Afraid not.
I suppose you'll tell me this is what happens without proper organisation.
No, sir. This is what happens without any organisation whatsoever. Oh, it must be 20 miles to the nearest town.
Yes, that's the problem with this blasted country. It is so badly thought out. It's far larger than is absolutely necessary, and the towns are so unevenly arranged.
Can I push the pram for a while, sir?
You? Well, that'd be rather a violation of the rules, wouldn't it?
You seem a little tired, sir.
Oh, nonsense.
Mr. Morgan doesn't need to know.
But I will, you see. The gesture is appreciated, Charles, but one way or another, I shall do this.
Charles?
Come on. Up and at 'em.
December 23rd, 1908, Monkwood, Texas. Dear Mr. Morgan, apologies that you haven't heard from me for some time, but we've only passed 2 towns in the last few weeks, and neither with a postal service. Conditions have been hard on both Sir and myself. We've had to start rationing supplies, sleep rough in the open. Although he won't admit it, I believe the death of his father has affected Sir greatly. Since then, I've noticed a quite remarkable transformation. Most noticeably, he talks considerably less, and when he does, more frequently to the purpose. In a few unguarded moments, I believe he has been quite serious. Certainly, he seems possessed of a greater determination than I thought possible. Faced with the harshest conditions, he endures all with scarcely a word of complaint. However, the going is hard. And though he tries not to alarm me, I believe him to be in some pain. His feet are ragged with blisters, and I fear that, despite his newfound resolve, he's now close to breaking.
This is the end, Charles.
Sir?
I can't take any more.
Get some sleep. You'll feel better in the morning.
I mean, look at me. I'm eating food out of a can in front of a campfire. I'm washed in over a week. It isn't me.
Perhaps you've changed.
Well, if we turn around, we could be back in London within the month. It'd be as if none of this had ever happened.
You can't give up now.
You could go home, settle down, and be happy. That's what you want, isn't it?
If we go back, then all this has been for nothing.
But it always was for nothing. The point was, there was no point. I've dragged you halfway around the world for no reason whatsoever. It's no wonder that you hate me.
We may have had our disagreements, but I don't hate you, sir.
If I were you, I'd have left long ago. I'm not sure why I'm still here myself.
You're a gentleman, sir, and you made a gentleman's agreement with Mr. Morgan.
Oh, I don't care a fig for Morgan.
I think a wagering away is very like a promise. A promise not so much to another as to yourself that you'll perform a certain thing. Whether it's an engagement to be married or travel the world with a pram, doesn't matter. You impose these rules on yourself.
On yourself?
Yes, sir. That's what honour means.
I never considered myself an honourable man.
I believe you do your best to hide it.
You think you know me better than I know myself?
There are some things, sir, that a helmet can't conceal. we press on, the coast isn't so very far.
Oh, but even then, there's South America, Australia, all of Europe.
You just need a little assistance.
You don't have to do this.
But I do. I too made a vow, sir. We're bound together, for better or worse.
Yes. Yes, I suppose we are.
I'm sorry. He's not usually like that.
Well, must be strange seeing me after all this time.
Good friends, were you?
Well,
Sorry, how do you take it?
as it comes, thanks.
I expect he was very different.
I can't really say.
Something happened to him in France, his mind. Of course, in a way, it was for the best.
Sorry?
That's how I met him, you see. I was a nurse in the hospital. I've been looking after him ever since.
I was there myself. France.
Is that where you met?
No, we were travelling companions. Before...
Travel? That doesn't sound like my Harry. These days, it's as much as I can do to get him out of the house.
Really?
Someday I'd like to go on holiday. A cruise, perhaps. But Harry, he won't hear of it. I suppose he's just the stay-at-home type.
March 7th, 1910, London. Dear Bensley, congratulations to you on your imminent arrival at Melbourne. By my reckoning, you've now traveled some 5,000 miles and are halfway through your journey. However, you've been traveling now for almost 3 years, and we're beginning to miss you here in London. With the hardest part of your journey ahead, it seems only sensible to return home. I should be glad to cancel our bet, and in recognition of your achievement, present you with the sum of
$10,000?
I know! If we've completed half the journey, then why not half the money?
Still, it's an awful lot to turn down.
Oh, why do you think he's offering it now? He has finally realised we're going to do this. Well, Mr. Morgan will learn that when a man gives his word, there's always a price to be paid.
He's right about one thing, sir. Australia won't be easy. The heat, the desert.
Christ!
Sir?
How long did he walk in the wilderness?
Not as far as we have to. And he wasn't even pushing a pram.
Nah, but he was tempted, just as we have been. Let him be our example, Charles. Mr. Morgan must not sway us from our purpose.
Excuse me, sir. My friend here and I
What the hell are you meant to be?
I'm not sure I'm meant to be anything.
We've been travelling for several months and we've...
What's he got in his head?
It's an iron helmet. 17th century.
We ran out of water several days ago, and we're wondering if you'd be so good as to give us something to drink.
You want a beer?
I don't suppose you have a good claret. Anything between 86 and 92 will suffice.
I should perhaps explain that though we have no funds at present, we do have a selection of delightful postcards.
What do you take me for? Get out of me bar, you pom faggots. Go on, clear out, you hear?
Many thanks, sir, for your consideration.
Sir, I don't think that went terribly well.
I thought I said to keep quiet.
Well, the man asked a question. It seemed rude not to answer.
So what now?
There's always the horse trough.
You're not suggesting that...
Come on. Last one in's a pom faggot. Whatever that is.
Welcome to the Melbourne Grand, gentlemen. Did you have a good journey?
No. All the supposed beauty of the outback, all we ever found was rocks and sand.
It's hard for a white man, I believe, sir.
It's hard for any man, sir.
The natives have a tradition called the walkabout. When a boy comes of age, he's sent out into the bush to discover himself.
All I've discovered is that there's nothing so wonderful in the world as a good steak And a warm bed.
Sir.
What is it, Charles? You look terribly serious.
It's a letter from Evie. She's broken off our engagement.
I shouldn't worry. I'm sure you'll be able to patch things up.
She's engaged to someone else.
Well, perhaps it's for the best, huh? You never really wanted to marry her, did you?
What do you mean?
Well, when a man loves a woman, as a rule, he tends not to run away as far as is humanly possible.
And I suppose you know all about love.
Oh, I'm sorry, Charles. I didn't mean...
No, you never mean anything. You're quite the most meaningless person I've ever met.
I suppose it's all my fault, isn't it?
Why does it always have to be about you? Don't you think I'm capable of ruining my life all by myself?
You'll get over her, Charles. Ahead of us lie all the women of Europe. I don't know about you, but at some point I shall have to set about finding myself a bride.
If I may make a suggestion.
Yes, Charles?
If you're to have any success, sir, it's probably time you started bathing again.
Oh, please, tell us about Australia.
Oh, truly, mademoiselle, there is nothing to tell. After 2 years in that place, it is good to be back in civilization.
The outback must have been very bleak.
No, not as bleak as the cities, I can assure you.
Do not trouble, monsieur. He is here to enjoy himself, is he not? Huh?
Oh, but he must have seen so many wonderful things.
You'll have to ask Mr. Tipton about that.
Oh, God, no.
For me, the world is contracted to the slit in my visor.
And you never take off your helmet?
Never.
Not even when you sleep? When you are in bed? But how then are you ever to find your bride?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps you'll find me.
How many proposals have you had, monsieur?
Modesty forbids.
To date, sir has had 23 proposals of marriage, including 2 duchesses and a contessa.
Oh, and all without knowing your identity.
Some married couples live their entire lives without knowing each other. I'm told it can be a most satisfactory arrangement.
To be a man of mystery. It is quite romantic, I think. I should so like to travel. They say, do they not? It is that which broadens the mind.
Oh, in that case, sailors and train drivers are the most enlightened people on the planet.
I trust, monsieur, that you shall find my girls very enlightened.
Oh, I certainly hope so, madame.
Fifi, Chantal, un moment, s'il vous plaît. Yeah.
Charles?
Sir, I thought I might take a turn outside.
Whatever for?
I thought I might see some sights.
Believe me, the sights are all right here.
Are you trying to corrupt me, sir?
Oh, of course not. I just want you to live a little.
Monsieur?
Brussels, 20th of July, 1913. Dear Morgan, I'm afraid Charles isn't feeling quite up to writing you his usual letter. He doesn't really seem himself at the moment, so I've sent him to bed for a few days. There's little to report other than our continuing conquest of mainland Europe. There was an incident in Marseille where a hotel maid hid under my bed, hoping to catch me without my mask. Luckily, I discovered her before she could me, and we parted later that evening on the very best of terms. At this rate, we will be home before the end of the year. I'd be grateful if you'd have the club reserve me my usual table and a bottle of their best champagne for myself and Mr. Tipton. I trust you shall also be ready with your checkbook.
Papieren, bitte.
What?
He wants our papers, Charles.
Papieren?
I'm sorry, I have none.
No papers. Who are you?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
You understand we shall have to question you.
What for?
He could be a spy.
If I was a spy, don't you think I might have chosen a slightly less conspicuous disguise?
I'm sorry, sir. Regulations. If you could come this way.
Look after the pram, Charles. I won't be a jiffy.
Hello.
Very good of you to invite us, Your Excellency.
Not at all. The least we can do to make up for that business at the border.
No, it wasn't as bad as all that. Though they did give the Pram a jolly good going over.
Can you imagine there was a bomb in it? I shouldn't wonder.
I'm afraid our German friends are a little overzealous at the moment. You're aware, I take it, of the international situation. They probably thought you were some kind of subversive element.
Well, they were right about that.
The word is, gentlemen, there could be war by next year.
War? There'll be no war, I can assure you. Not if we have anything to do with it.
You?
Myself and Mr. Tipton. We are a two-man force, striking a blow against the legions of the serious from generals to politicians. The Pram is our weapon, this very helmet, our shield. In our postcards, we distribute our very own propaganda.
Well, I hope you're successful, sir.
Well, we only have to hold out for a few months.
And have you thought what you'll do with all that money?
Oh, well, I shouldn't want to use it for anything remotely practical. Perhaps I could buy a mountain. Can you buy mountains?
And what will you do, Mr. Tipton?
He'll come and work for me.
Will I?
Yes, of course. He'll be my personal assistant.
In what line of work?
I had wondered if we could do this on a permanent basis. We'd invite people to wager a certain amount of money to have us perform any challenge of their devising.
That sounds marvellous.
Well, let's hope peace holds, if only for your sake. Oh, fireworks! Come, let's see them.
Sure.
August 4th, 1914, London. Dear Bensley, I regret to inform you that England has finally declared war on Germany. Circumstances dictate that our bet must now be annulled, and the demands of sport give way to those of war. However, in the spirit of fair play, I should be happy on your return to present you with a sum of $8,000.
Sir. Sir.
Damn, blast, and confound the bloody Kaiser! If only they could have waited a few more weeks. It's like they planned it all along.
It's not what you deserve, sir.
We, Charles. It is not what we deserved. I suppose there's nothing for it but to head home.
Yeah.
What will you do when you get back?
I don't know. I suppose I should join up.
Join what? What for? Surely you don't believe...
Of course I don't believe in it. But there is such a thing as duty.
Duty, Charles? Honour? That is the very reason we're in this mess. Some fool told the French that we'd help them if they were invaded. It was just a gentleman's agreement.
And you've taught me, sir, that there's nothing more important than that.
Yes. Yes, you're right, of course. Oh, perhaps they'd let us join up together.
Sir?
After all this time, it seems I've grown rather accustomed to your company.
As I have yours, sir. I suppose you can take the helmet off now.
Would you be so kind as to help me? Oh, it's so bright.
Your eyes?
Huh? What about them?
Oh, I always thought they'd be blue. By the way.
Yes?
What's your name?
Harry Bensley.
Charles Tipton. How do you do?
How do you do, Charles?
How do you do?
3rd of January, 1915. Montsec. The front. Dear Harry, how on earth did we end up here? After all those years travelling the globe, to end up buried in some stinking hole in a farmer's field, hardly able to move for fear of having our heads blown off. How I long for those days with you and the pram and the roads stretching away into the distance. Surrounded by all this, it seems like some kind of paradise. And the irony is, we're closer to home than we've been in years. But it might as well be another world. Have you noticed the way they give the trenches street names? I can't tell if they do it to mock or comfort us. The other day I passed Piccadilly Circus, where we set out all those years ago. Doesn't look quite the same now as it did then. Then I suppose neither do we. The only thing that keeps me going is the memory of our journey. Other fellas keep pictures of their sweethearts in their top pocket. But instead I have one of our postcards. Somehow I like the idea that should I fall on the field, people will know who I was and what I did. Take care, Harry. God be with you. Your devoted friend, Charles.
12th of April, 1916, Epinay, the front. Dear Charles, it seems the politicians finally have us exactly where they wanted. All of humankind scuttling around in burrows, cowering in fear, and obediently doing their bidding. The age of chivalry and honour is dead. Now there are no knights charging across a battlefield, and we live in a world of bombs and wire, machine guns and gas. Perhaps I could bear all that if you were here with me. I did request to be posted to the same unit, but it seems my family had some influence in the matter. It's strange. In the middle of nowhere, deserts and canyons, I never felt the slightest bit lonely. But here, surrounded by men and noise, I have never felt more alone. Take care of yourself. Your dear friend, Harry.
Harry, it's me.
I know.
It's strange. Never thought I'd see you married.
Well, people change.
She seems nice. Planning any kids?
I'm enough for her to look after, don't you think? Living in a flat in Brighton. You've every right to be surprised.
No, it's just... What happened to your money?
Oh. Tied up in Russia. After the revolution, we lost a lot.
So, do you work?
Nothing too arduous. They wouldn't let me. I'm an usher at the Regal.
Doesn't sound very you.
They give me free tickets. I see everything. Musicals, romance, adventure.
You never told her about us.
Us?
The journey.
You've seen her. She wouldn't understand. I'm not sure I do anymore.
I did write. Many times.
I know.
Why didn't you reply?
Those days are over, Charles.
They don't have to be.
There are certain illusions we have which make life bearable, which sustain us, give us hope. And for me, the war was the end of all that. It was the end of everything.
Life goes on.
No, not mine, Charles. Something broke. Our journey. It belongs to another time, an age that was somehow more innocent. Or maybe that was just us.
Harry, all this talk, it isn't you.
Isn't it?
I know you, Harry.
Do you?
You can't travel the world with someone without learning something about them.
No, it was a lie, Charles. All of it. I was nothing but a fraud.
What?
Wearing that helmet. I wasn't just hiding from the world, I was hiding from myself.
What are you talking about?
Do you know the real reason we went on that journey?
The real reason?
That night playing cards at the sporting club, I bet away my fortune. Everything.
What?
Morgan didn't need the money, so he suggested the bet as forfeit. I had no choice.
That's not true.
The journey was never my decision. All that time, I was lying to you. I was lying to everyone.
But the cause, to fight the petty-minded, the serious, to be free.
Free? I was Morgan's man, every bit as much as you. The cause was real, Charles, but I wasn't.
You believed it. You did. And you kept going. When you could have turned back, you didn't. You had courage.
No, courage, no. No. I was just scared. For 7 years I travelled the globe, running from my responsibilities, trying to escape who I was and where I came from.
You had a dream.
Oh, but that is all it was. And the moment it came up against cold, hard reality, it was gone.
It was real, Harry. It happened.
Looking back, I can't imagine what I was ever thinking. A man with a helmet and a pram, trying to change the world.
You changed my world, Harry. You may have given up, but I haven't. I've come to take you away.
What?
After the war, I left Morgan and set up on my own. I got some money together and bought some land. Australia. It's a land of opportunity, a new world. We could do whatever we want, be whatever we want. It would be a new start.
Your tea.
You see, Charles, what would I do without her?
Without her? I hope no one's going anywhere, are they?
No, dear. No, of course not.
Catching up on old times, are you?
That's right.
Are you married, Mr. Tipton?
No. It seems I'm not the marrying kind.
Don't say that. I'm sure there's someone out there. It's never too late. You never told me about your travels, dear. Where did you go?
We went everywhere.
Everywhere?
We walked around the world.
Whatever for?
It was a bet. The largest bet the world has ever seen.
How incredible. And you think you know a person?
We walked round the world, pushing a pram.
What a wonderful adventure.
Yes. Yes, it was.
In Mr. Bensley's Pram by Dylan Ritson, Harry Bensley was played by James Purefoy and Charles Tipton by Richard Firth. J.P. Morgan was played by Gerard McDermott, Lord Lonsdale by Simon Donaldson, Stimpson by Euan Bailey, and Mrs. Bensley by Joanna Munroe. Carla Simpson played Nora Bensley, and Emma Williams Eunice. Other parts were played by members of the cast. The director was Jeremy Mortimer.